Management groups are powerful containers that help organizations maintain consistent governance across multiple subscriptions in Azure. By placing subscriptions into a logical hierarchy, administrators can create and enforce policies at scale, simplifying resource management and ensuring compliance with organizational standards. This approach builds on earlier concepts such as assigning roles at different scopes and managing resource locks. Management groups function at a higher level than subscriptions, allowing centralized oversight of authorization and cost controls. As a result, they are instrumental in providing structure for large enterprises, helping align security rules, permissions, and tagging strategies. They serve as a solid foundation for implementing well-organized Azure environments. Azure's hierarchical structure begins with management groups at the top level, followed by subscriptions, resource groups, and finally individual resources. Management groups serve as a way to group subscriptions under a single organizational umbrella, enabling administrators to apply consistent governance across multiple subscriptions at once. This structure effectively connects lower-level configurations, such as resource locks or Azure policy assignments, to organizational guidelines. Unlike role assignments at the subscription or resource group scope, management group policies and permissions can cascade down. By understanding this hierarchy, organizations can streamline governance, reduce repetitive configuration, and more effectively monitor usage and compliance across their entire Azure estate. Creating a management group begins with selecting a root group, often referred to as the tenant root group. Every Azure tenant has precisely one root, and only Azure AD global administrators have the permissions to manage its settings. Within this root group, administrators can create subgroups that reflect business structures, such as geographic regions, departments, or project portfolios. By strategically grouping subscriptions, organizations can enforce consistent policies and assignments at higher levels. The Azure portal, Azure CLI, or PowerShell scripts can be used to provision these groups. Once created, administrators can move subscriptions into the designated groups to align governance standards. After creating management groups, administrators can configure settings to meet specific governance requirements. This setup may include assigning role-based access control, RBAC, roles, applying Azure policy definitions, and inheriting resource locks to ensure critical assets remain protected. To delegate administrative tasks, administrators can define custom roles and assign them to trusted team members, granting the appropriate privileges without overexposure. Through the portal, one can manage user permissions at the group level. This setup ensures consistent policy application across all subscriptions under the group. Proper configuration of management groups can markedly simplify complex governance tasks and reduce the risk of misconfiguration. Azure also supports creating nested management groups for more granular structuring. This means one group can be a child of another, inheriting configuration and policy settings from its parent. By layering management groups, organizations can mirror complex departmental or project-based hierarchies. For instance, a parent group might represent a regional division, while its children handle individual workloads or specialized product lines. While nesting allows for detailed segmenting, administrators must carefully manage inheritance. A policy set at the parent group automatically flows to child groups. This approach can simplify resource oversight, but requires deliberate design to ensure optimal alignment with organizational needs. Role-based access control plays a major role in management groups, building on the same principles used for subscriptions and resource groups. Administrators assign roles, such as owner, contributor, or custom definitions, directly at the management group scope, enabling consistent permissions across all subscriptions in that hierarchy. Existing security concepts like conditional access can also be extended to this level when integrated with Azure AD. By leveraging these controls, administrators can enforce least privilege principles at scale, ensuring users and services only have the access they need. This strategy complements prior lessons on built-in Azure roles and role assignment hierarchies within the enterprise. Management groups form the cornerstone of governance strategies in large enterprises, particularly when organizations have numerous subscriptions to manage. They allow for unified cost tracking, tagging, and cost management best practices, as well as streamlined deployment of policy initiatives. By harnessing group-level policies, administrators can easily require mandatory tags or monitor resource compliance. Meanwhile, owners of individual subscriptions within each group can tailor resource configurations without forsaking corporate standards. This layered approach ensures a balance between uniform, top-level governance directives and the flexibility required in field operations. The result is a cohesive environment that enforces rules while encouraging innovation. Azure policy assignments can be applied at the management group level to ensure uniform governance across all associated subscriptions. This integration follows the standard policy process, where administrators choose built-in or custom definitions targeting resources below the management group. Examples include enforcing virtual machine size limitations or requiring encryption on storage accounts. By deploying these policies to the entire group, large organizations can maintain compliance, reduce misconfiguration risk, and streamline policy enforcement. Policy effects like deny, audit, or append cascade down the hierarchy. This structure eliminates the need to repeatedly assign the same controls at each subscription, conserving time and effort. Ongoing governance relies on continuous visibility. Azure's built-in dashboards, combined with monitoring tools, help administrators observe subscription status, policy compliance, and cost metrics at the management group level. By grouping subscriptions, these metrics can be aggregated, offering a broader understanding of how different business units align with organizational rules. Administrators can generate reports that show compliance drift, highlight potential security gaps, or indicate cost overruns. Additionally, Azure Advisor can supplement these insights by providing customized recommendations. The ability to monitor at multiple layers allows quick identification of mismatches, ensuring timely adjustments and reinforcing the strategic value of management groups. When implementing management groups, consider aligning them with your organization's structure to facilitate logical policy inheritance. Utilize descriptive naming conventions that reflect functional or geographic distinctions. Evaluate the potential complexity of nesting, ensuring you only add levels where necessary. Combine these hierarchical controls with consistent tagging practices so that cost analyses remain accurate and easily traceable. Leverage role assignments and built-in policies to standardize operations, but avoid over-assigning roles. Periodically review and update your management group structure, keeping pace with organizational changes. By doing so, you ensure long-term efficacy, maintaining a well-governed, flexible Azure environment that is prepared for future expansion.